Hey everyone, it's me. I want to talk about being of unsound mind and oh, what I went through immediately after my oldest daughter chose to estrange. I'm just going to touch on it fairly quick. She had kind of said from young on, oh, as soon as I can get my own place, I'm going to do it. She always kind of liked her own space. And so as a teenager, she always would say, Mom, I'd never leave you, but I need my own space. And then just something I didn't even notice, which might bring something to light for some of you, is that I wasn't paying attention to certain things in the house. And it's not in a bad way, but I didn't normally go into my oldest daughter's room because she wasn't as organized as my youngest. So anyways, I walked into my house one day and I noticed her laptop was not on the couch where it normally was in our living room. And I walked into her bedroom and her bedroom was empty. Lo and behold, because I worked a full-time job, she was moving out while I was at work a little bit at a time until she made the big move on the final day and left. Didn't leave a note, didn't leave anything really except hangers and things like that. So I said to my youngest, who was still at home, I said, "Do you know where your sister's at?" And she said, "No." And come to find out, she knew that my oldest daughter was planning on leaving as well because she actually had helped her move. So after she left, I went into the room, saw it was empty. I crumbled down into the floor and I just sat there not knowing what to do. And I had to get back up. I walked out of the room, shut the door, and I tried to find her. I couldn't find her anywhere. No one would tell me anything. And so I was, like I said before, I was working full time. Well, I had to go to work every single day. I couldn't just sit home and cry. And I had to go to work while trying to find her, etc. And I felt like I'd lost my mind. I no longer had a sound mind. I had an unsound mind. So I was just out of sorts. So anyways, after pleading with family members, begging people please come home, creating a fake or not a fake, a Facebook page, Steffi come home, wearing a t-shirt, Steffi come home. I pulled out all this stuff to try to get her attention, to try to get her to talk to me, to try to get her to come home, and nothing worked. She came back after about 6 months to talk. I didn't know if she was picking up some things, and then I tried to confront her and she took off and left again to wherever she was living at the time. She was living with friends. And so that was the start of my estrangement, not only from the first, but eventually the second. And I'll tell you, I think it is normal to feel like you've lost your mind, you've lost your heart, that you've lost a huge everything when it comes to estrangement. And I I say I probably acted like a crazy person. Um, I was trying to do anything to get them back, anything to get a response, anything to find out what was going on, to no avail. And so I just want to say it is normal to quote unquote fall apart and kind of lose your mind and become unsound after. But it is really important that you do whatever it takes to try to get a grip and try to catch it before you spiral out of control, before you drive past wherever they're living, before you pound on the door, before you go to their work, before you text them a million times. Because in my case, I got a no contact letter from my second after I had mailed some things out to my grandchildren who didn't know me and I didn't know them, but I knew I had grandkids and I mailed out some things. Everything I mailed out came back and said, do not contact us again. So I just want to say it is not uncommon to feel like it's like the rug was pulled out from underneath you and you're standing on a ledge and below you, if you take one step to the left or to the right, that you're just going to fall and not be able to get back up. But I'm just telling you, 3 years of therapy, 3 years of accepting, 3 years of just taking care of myself, revamping, revising, um, learning how to live new, and most important, embrace people who embrace me. That's all I have to say is so I could not allow myself too much time in the unsoundness. So there is a great big life for each one of us to be grabbed a hold of. And I was a person before I had kids. I'm a person after I had children. And I'm revamping everything about my life. So that's all I wanted to say. I hope to God this helps someone. I know we're all hurting. I know we're all crying. And I know we're all suffering in our own unspoken ways. But just know that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. It's just that we have to move forward and move towards it in order to see it brighter. So that's all I've got to say, and we'll talk with you soon. Bye bye.